At one point, I was like, I'm ready to put on the hijab. But it was so different. People looked at me different. They didn't recognize me. They just assumed that I was stupid.
They always think that women in Islam, they just follow their husbands.
Did you feel like I did not make this decision or I was not ready?
I don't know why people are doing this, but at the smoking area, there were ladies in hijab smoking. What do you feel about this? Hello and welcome to Pantang, where we dive into topics people are usually scared to talk about. But here at Pantang, no.
No,
we're not scared. I'm Fauzi.
I'm Azura. And today we're going to be talking about the responsibilities of a Muslim woman. When you talk about a Muslim woman, maybe you think of a hijab as well. Must wear or not? When to wear? How do I decide I want to wear?
And sometimes it comes with challenges and people don't always talk about it.
Correct. So today with us to share their perspectives and their stories, seeing as to how we both don't have a tudung. So we find people who wear tudung. We have Nabilah, who started wearing the tudung at the age of 18. And also we have Annabelle Francis, who started wearing it at 39.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Thanks for having us on the show.
So excited to have you. Okay, so here at Pantang, we let the cards bring us further into the discussion. Are you ready for question number 1?
Yes. Let's go.
All right, easy. When and why did you choose to start wearing the hijab? Can we deep dive into like the background before we start on your hijab journey?
Okay, yes.
So for those who don't know, you're a Muslim convert. You were born Catholic.
Yes.
Raised Catholic.
Yes, all the way.
Converted to Islam at 21.
Yeah, 21, yes.
Okay. And then at 39, you decided to wear the hijab.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
I went to India. It always started with India because I wanted to do a spiritual soul search. I was really a Catholic girl. I went to like church every day and everything. I was like really into it, but there was something missing. So I wanted to have a bit of a spiritual growth. So I went to India. I went to explore all the different religions there because they have like Hinduism, Islam, everything right there. I was breaking fast with my best friend. She was actually, traveling and fasting. I heard the azan for the first time. And it was the most beautiful thing ever. I was like, what is that? So that was my first taste into Islam. Now I know it's niyat, it's a dua, right? But actually there, I was like, okay, I'm going to put my wishes out there. I say, when I come back to Singapore, please find me somebody or something that will bring me to the light. And then I came back to Singapore. I was asked to go to Vietnam with Sheikh Haikal, and I never thought I would fall in love with him. And he told me to go and explore Islam, just give it a shot. I said, okay. So I did. It just gave me very, very logical answers to my questions. Why we don't eat certain things, why is it halal or why is haram? It was not mythical. It was very sensible. So I converted, and it took me some time to put on my hijab, but at one point I was like, I'm ready to put on the hijab. There was a lot of things like, I felt like I needed to go somewhere else, like elevate to the next level. And after that, I started meeting all my friends, and Diana Halik, which is Aaron Aziz's wife, she's still very close to me. She said, Belle, it's wajib, right? It's not like, whenever, whatever. It's wajib. So the faster you get there, the faster you accept it and you move on, right? I was like, oh yeah. So I put on and it was such a big difference now because I was in public and I was the day before I was Annabelle Francis. And then the next day, I was this woman in hijab and nobody knew me, right? I was everybody's kakak all of a sudden. Kak, come here, kak. Kak, come here, kak. Kak, duduk sini, kak. Everybody was a kakak. I was like, okay, I'll be your kakak then. But it was so different. Like, people looked at me different. They didn't recognize me. They treated me different. The bad was that they just assumed that I was stupid. I don't know why. They just assumed that I was shallow.
Really?
I mean, like, people assuming you shallow is...
Right!
You just come with it.
Because they always think that women in Islam, they just follow their husbands or like
we are oppressed.
They're oppressed.
We are kena forced to do this now,
Yeah.
And there was one time, this person actually came up to me and said, hey, Kak, this one is $10, it's a bit more expensive than this one. You sure you can? People straight away have this like conception or perception that you are shallow, stupid, poor.
Poor.
Or like not educated. They must explain things twice.
Yeah.
Belle, you started when you were at a young age of 39.
Yeah, so sweet.
For Nabilah, do you ever struggle with this decision as a young girl?
No, because I wasn't forced to wear it. Like, I actually wanted to wear it. But the decision to stay on the hijabi path was because of my dad. I grew up in 5 sister siblings. So all of us actually went to madrasah.
As in full-time madrasah?
Yeah,
Okay.
But I was like the only one who actually quit at primary 6 because that was the first time Al-Sagaf actually allowed the students to take PSLE. So to say that I had that foundation before, like I understood about hijab and what to expect of you. Yeah, but only at 18 then I make that decision. Actually, it was a funny story because I just put it on time Ramadan. And my sisters, my 2 older sisters already started to wear it. My sister actually took me to my dad and then she said, "Ba, this is Nabilah's new image." And I was like, new image? I was just 18, I was still in ITE. Yeah, and it was just a passing comment. So I thought like, okay lah, like we're all gonna move past it. But then first day Hari Raya, I pakai tudung also.
Okay.
And then when I salam my dad, the minta maaf part, right?
He
And then,
cry lah.
No lah, he just hold my head like that and he's like, "Thank you for wearing the hijab."
Oh.
But did you feel like I did not make this decision or I was not ready?
No, because like in Ramadan, I was already like exploring it. Only on the first day, I think that was the part that my dad was like, maybe she is ready for this, So she's like, "Thank you for wearing." And I was like, okay, Dad, you got it. I'm gonna be a hijabi now.
So nice. So sayang.
Yeah, it's beautiful that it came from you. And
Yeah.
then your father is just like, reciprocating.
And like the fact that he said thank you is like means he's been like secretly hoping for it, but he never enforced us,
Okay,
No
I
pressure.
understand.
Yeah, so when we actually wear it, then that's the part he's like, okay, like thank you for actually doing this, for yourself.
I'm not too sure if it's a pressure thing because my parents personally they don't force you. You have to find Islam in your own accord. When you find it, then we are proud of you. But I think my question would be like, should parents encourage early, or is this personal choice thing? Because we have 2 different stories, right? One, you converted. You made it a choice only later as a parent yourself also. Do you feel like parents should encourage it early, or is something of a personal choice?
I mean, obviously, the correct answer to say yes, definitely, the parents should be, teaching them the core values of why we, even as women, put on the hijab. It's like you're a lighthouse, okay? And you're telling everybody, okay, hey, sending signals out there, this is who I am, this is my values, and that I don't even have to say anything and you would know that I'm a Muslim woman. So you are also trying to teach your children that, as a woman, you use that as like a crown and also as a protection. I raised 2 children 10 years before I was putting on my hijab. I was a different person. I was, Annabelle, doing my Annabelle Francis things, right? But then after that, I had another child, right? He's now 11 years old, and he was raised watching me put on the hijab. They're raised very differently because I put on the hijab. And I taught them very differently, right? Because my daughter, now she's older, she's like, you can't expect me to like force me into this now just because you are, looking at life differently.
Yeah.
So it's not fair for her. So I say, yeah, just take your time. But just know that, it's changed me a lot. I'm so well grounded as a woman right now. I'm following the long lineage of women from Mother Mary, from Mariam's time, where everybody who wears the hijab until today, all around the world, for the same one very reason. And I think that's pretty powerful.
I've heard 2 different sides, right? I've heard people say things like, oh, you don't give your kids a choice whether they go to school. So why should you be giving them a choice, You should be telling them that this is your religion, this is what you should do. It should be enforced into them. And then there are people who, religion is very personal. You should be finding it yourself. There's no point in telling someone what to do or what to believe in, right? What do you think about this?
I really think Islam starts from home, actually. So you have to set that foundation for them, because I have friends who now at this kind of age, they're like, I don't know how to pray. I don't know where to start to wear the hijab, because I didn't grow up in that kind of household. I don't grow up. I keep hearing this, my mom didn't teach me, my dad didn't do this. They keep blaming on their parents. And that's when I think not everybody is privileged to have a parents to guide you. And I happen to be on another side that I have a parents who really guide us slowly and then put us in like religious school, get to know religion, you know.
So she's privileged. I say if you're born Muslims and you're raised by good Muslim families with values, it was a real privilege. I didn't, right? I didn't have any mother or father telling me about this thing. So I learned it from me being out there exposed to the world. And in this day and age of the world today, where everybody's talking about how fat you are, or how beautiful you are, how skinny, how curvy, when I put on the hijab, it's like I realized I just put a stop to all that. Like, I kind of like switch it off. Switch off the noise. I am who I am. You can have my intelligence by talking to me. You can have my, professional energy, whatever we're doing together. But my body is now only for the people I choose. And that's my husband. And that is
As simple as that.
powerful for me. Like it's mine. Like I have set my own boundary. I set my own narrative to how I want my life to be, how people want to respect me. So it's so important to teach your children that at a very early age, because like what she said, it's privilege. It's so beautiful to come from, a good family that does that.
So the second question is, what challenges have you faced while wearing the tudung in real life, like your daily life?
Let's start maybe while you were younger. You started at 18 and maybe around that age, your friends want to do a lot of things.
Yeah, but I don't really have like wild friends because like we grew up with like curfew.
You are so lucky. So privileged. I love it.
I don't feel like I'm really like missing out lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So good.
So
Was there anything that you felt you couldn't do at that age because you wore the tudung?
not really. Like that's the part I say. Like, I don't have that circle of friends that keep like pulling me to like the wild side.
All your friends wear tudung.
No, I don't have friends that wear tudung. I just don't have friends that wear havoc. Like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt judged ever in any circumstance?
Always. And once we put on the hijab, we're being judged constantly. So they always think that a bit uneducated, cannot speak English, cannot afford. I'm like, are you kidding me? Why do you feel like, why do you treat me differently? And because I switched, right, from Annabelle Francis and I became a hijabi, so it's like such a big difference. And it's also societal, it's what they're used to. So they just generalize everything. We're not different from anyone else. There's so much more to, just us putting on the hijab.
For sure.
Know? Yeah.
For sure.
So last time without the hijab, I could walk into the room and I know I instantly would have like won the crowd or something like that, or I would have like not need to, prove so much just by my appearance, But now when I walk into the room, it's like, they need to talk to me. They need to understand my values, what I'm worth, before they can go, okay, yeah, she's cool.
You know what's the funny part? You now with the hijab already give me a safe space, and the way you carry yourself is not any different from any other girls that I know. So thank you for being confident in your own skin and representing as
Thank
you
you.
should. Yeah, as you should.
I think at the end of the day, everybody has their own journeys, You have your own timing, your own journeys, your own connection to your beliefs, your values, your thoughts. Everybody is different. And I'm not to judge who wearing the hijab or not, or where are you, whether you go to the mosque or not. We are not here to judge. The first thing is to connect. And once you connect with no judgment, with a lot of love and kindness, so much good can come out of that.
I love that. I feel like that is so important because especially online, you see a lot of people who leave comments that has got to do with religion or questioning one's faith.
Actually, the first thing that was hard for me, right, when I put on the hijab, is that I have to behave myself. Because I, before, would get angry and shout and scream. And, be like, what do you think this? Like, excuse me? Like, hello, I was here first. You know what I mean?
For lack of better word, it's rowdy. Rowdy behavior.
You'll be like, look at me from behind. Annabelle, you're putting on a hijab. You are for the greater good. You represent a whole lot more than just you. I'm like, oh yes, oh my God. So now I have to suck it in. The first few years was really about just suck it in, Belle. Sabar, yeah. So that was also a big challenge for me. Because you really do represent a whole lot of people because you put on your hijab, right? So I'm a Muslim woman. I can't be shouting and screaming at you, right?
Do you wish it wasn't that way? That just because you wore the hijab that you represent a community, because at the end of the day, it's still you and God, right? So did you wish that people did not have that sort of perception?
it's like a burden on your shoulder, like a
It's
perception.
not a
from-
burden, it's empowerment. It's like
Love
we
that.
all of a sudden, like when I put on the hijab, you know how many of my Muslim sisters say, yo, what's up? I felt so good. I was like, oh my God, I have all this like sisterhood.
Yeah.
It came with the hijab.
Tudung nowadays are very modern and fashion. Huh?
Yes,
Actually,
correct.
you both look so fashionable. I'm not a fashionista lah. But
Could be.
Could be. But how do people react when you combine like fashionable stuff with your
How do you
hijab?
try and balance that?
Yeah,
Because
how do you
still,
balance?
we're still girls, right? You want to be pretty. So how do you combine like being fashion and staying in trend with like modesty?
You know, like what's okay for a hijabi girl to wear and what's like low-key obscene, you know. So like as long as you're covered that part, I think it's okay to like explore the fashion part.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, hijab is religion expectation, right?
Your own fashion sense is important. It's your personal style, right? I love fashion, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, suddenly I switched into this. It's like I was finding my style for the longest time. I'm gonna really, pull in a name here, but Diana Halik, because she's got a Tudung brand, right? As soon as I put on my Tudung, my first Tudung, she sent me a whole box. And I had like one for every color, for everything. She said, just explore your style. I think that was so important for me. Then after that, you realize you don't have to think so much. It will just come. At the end of the day, it's you and between you and yourself. And of course, God. But what I mean is, it's your own thing. So don't worry about the rest of the world.
I don't know why people are doing this, but at the smoking area, there were ladies in hijab smoking. And then there was a whole thread of people saying, hey, you're representing the religion and you're smoking, blah, yada, yada. Some people are also saying that it's okay what is between them. Valid is between them and God.
Yeah.
Is their health. What do you feel about this?
Again, it's everybody's wish whether they want to smoke or not, right? But for me, if you want, just hormat a bit. Just have a bit of respect. Go away to the corner and try, whatever you want to do that is not so correct, right? Just hide, like, show some decency or some kind of respect for whatever you're representing. So just put it to the side. And if people still want to go to the corner and come to say, ha, 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 then that's like, wow, I can't do much. If you want to do something like that, just have respect and do it at the corner.
We're going to move on to question number 3.
Let's go.
Which is, what does wearing the tudung mean to you today?
Wearing the tudung is not human-made, right? It's actually, it's like our heritage, right? Beautiful lineage of women who wear tudung, like from, Mariam and from every other religion. If you think about it, nuns cover their heads. Christians, right, they cover their heads. Jewish women also cover their heads. So in all different communities, over generations, we put on the head scarves, right? And I feel like that's really important. A lot of people think we are oppressed, or we are pushed to doing it. But I feel that it is empowered. It's total liberation to me to be able to stand for my own values, my own beliefs, and be proud of it. And in Singapore, we are safe to do it. Nobody's going to pull out tudung and all that. So to me, we're very blessed to be in a place that we can, practice so easily our faith and be proud of it, embrace it, empower other people with it. I feel that's beautiful. Or I put on my hijab. There were so many women that reached out to me on social media to say, like, thank you for letting us know. Can you share with us your journey? They've been wanting to do it, but they're scared, because they don't want to lose their identity. And I feel like you're not losing your identity. You're actually creating a better version of yourself. And then they actually come to the restaurant and then they say, I put on hijab because you put on a hijab.
Oh.
And I would just cry. I would be like, wow, alhamdulillah. That's why we are here in this earth, right? For these moments,
I feel heartened by that. It's so peaceful.
It is.
I hear peace and serenity just by hearing that.
But it's tough because all my family members are not Muslims. They already had to deal with the fact that I am not Christians or I'm not Catholics like them anymore. So when my father passed away, I had to lead a lot of the prayers. But I was a Muslim woman, right? And it's in America, so it's a bit harder too there, right? But you feel so strong, like, I'm not backing down. I am going to be strong in my hijab. I'm not taking it down for anybody. And it's like that kind of strength and courage is like, where did I get that from? It's a lot of self-discovery on that too, yeah.
I have a question for Nabilah. What would you advise someone who would be unsure of wanting to wear the tudung?
I think you just start. Maybe you're overthinking it too much. Like, I recently had a follower asking me like, oh, I don't even have money to change my whole wardrobe. And I'm like, babe, you can give me $50. I can shop for you now on Shopee and turn you into a hijabi tomorrow.
Really?
That is community.
Yeah.
Because like all you need is an inner. I mean, like, let's say you're not a hijabi, right? And then you have all this kind of like sexy dress or sleeveless dress or whatever. Just get a black inner, pair it with your whatever you have in your wardrobe. And a jersey shawl at Shopee is what, $5? Chiffon shawl.
Babe, we just found you a good business model here. Okay? Everybody, please visit her. Okay? Reach out to her if you want to change your whole
hijabi
wardrobe
starter kit.
for $50. High five, sister!
Like, you don't have to go crazy. Like, I think like girls who are unsure to study is because first the wardrobe issue. But I would say like at that part, don't overthink it because you can just pair up with a jacket or whatever right now. And then like maybe the second part is they're worried about like opportunity, or maybe they felt like there's a standard that they have to, follow just because they are now a hijabi. Just slowly get into it. Like she said, when she pakai hijab, the adab all, akhlak all start to follow suit, right? Like she had to be patient instead of running her mouth.
Cannot go to places yang haram.
But actually Singapore
Cannot.
also got nothing much lah, so...
No, like you straight away cannot go to a club lah, right? If there is a show that I have to do in a club, I have to say no lah.
I mean, if like say your friends have a birthday at a non-halal restaurant, you can still turn up. It's your own boundaries, right? You said like you don't drink, you don't do this, you don't do that.
I've seen a lady like full hijab at a club.
And say what?
Yeah, so but she's drinking water lah.
Okay.
But her friends are having fun
Right.
and stuff like that. It was so refreshing to see actually.
It was just a few weeks ago. I had to do that because my uncle, my family are they're all musicians, right? So we had to go to a family event, and it was in a lounge, club thing, bar thing. And so when I walked in, everybody was like, "Whoa!" because of the makcik lah. Just walked in, right? But it's still uncomfortable, because you don't.
Do you think
want
it's uncomfortable for you or uncomfortable for people seeing this image of a Tudung woman in such a place?
I think they love it. They love that I'm there. They know who I was before, right? And I'm not changed, I think for me, I felt uncomfortable. There was like drinks everywhere, and there was talking over wine everywhere. So, yeah, these are the things lah that you feel, You get used to it. That you don't want to go to certain places because you wear the hijab. You don't do certain things because of the hijab.
And I was just wondering as well, because you were mentioning about, when people want to put it on, but they're a little bit afraid, right? Do you also think that sometimes what they might be afraid of is that you almost can't take it off? Not that you can't take it off, but it gets harsher when you do. Like, nobody's going to come up to me now and tell me like, oh, you tak pakai tudung. But when you have one and you take it off, you kena like double lah.
That is so dangerous because there's a lot on social media like that now. So the young girls are, following because they love all these women in tudungs, right? They follow. Then suddenly they take out. I think that's very, very dangerous lah.
I think if you have that influential power, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
But like if you are a person on your own, macam you are still exploring to like take out. I mean, it's a choice between you and God. I mean, I cannot say that, it's okay for you to take out because like the first thing she said is wajib. Yeah, but I think it's true lah. It gets harsher. Like as it is, you as a hijabi, you already get this double standard. Like to perform everything perfectly and don't do this, don't do that. And then you take out. Yeah, so all the more it gets harsher on you.
But I think it's important to create safe spaces around people. People are all exploring. I always tell my kids that to give everybody space to grow, Don't judge. Don't push them away from what's good. Pull them, into that. Yeah. It's everybody's choices. Everybody got their own life. Just do, just do whatever you want. Just do good.
Lovely.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
What a lovely end to that.
Yeah.
Right?
Very
Like a
positive
nice
energy.
ending note.
I love that. Everyone's journey with the Tudung is different. For some, it comes early. For others, it takes a bit more time.
Correct. And I think what matters most is that, that you understand your faith, your intentions, and respecting others' journey, right? Like
That
you
is
respect other people, respect their journeys.
For me, it's humanity first, always.
Correct.
Islam is humanity.
Islam is humanity first. Yeah, that's right. Thank you for that. And thanks for watching Pantang.
Don't forget to like, comment, and share, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Goodbye.